Hey guys, welcome to week 7 of our study of God's attributes. Today we're going to be talking about how God is omnipresent. Anyone out there thinking, what the heck does that mean? It's a really, really big word, and it actually describes a really, really big concept. Now, I'm going to try to simplify it for us, but please go easy on me, because I'm trying to explain an infinite attribute of an infinite God with my limited understanding and my limited finite abilities. So the first thing I want to do is just give you a definition of omnipresence, and it means two things. It means God is present at all places, and He's also present at all times. And so we kind of touched on that a little bit during week 2 of this study when we talked about God's immensity. But we're going to focus mostly on the fact that He's present everywhere and what that means. And so I'm going to share a couple things that Tozer says in his book. Remember, we're using A.W. Tozer's The Attributes of God to guide our short conversations every week through this study. And this is what he says towards the end of chapter 7. The omnipresent God fills heaven and earth, contains heaven and earth, and is present everywhere. And then towards the beginning of chapter 7, he says another little something, and he says omnipresence means that God is all present. God is close to everywhere. He's near to everything and everyone. He's here. He's next to you, wherever you may be. And I love that. And if you're thinking, okay, great, well, that's what Tozer says, but what does the Bible say? Then I'm really excited about that, because that's what's most important, right? It's important for us to read what people that love Jesus and God reveals Scripture to those people, and we can learn a lot from them. But it's most important to be able to go back to the Bible and make sure that what they're saying is the truth. And this is what God specifically is speaking here in Jeremiah 23, verses 23 and 24. And he says, "Am I only a God nearby, declares the Lord, and not a God far away? Who can hide in secret places so that I cannot see them, declares the Lord? Do not I fill heaven and earth, declares the Lord?" And so what we see here, I think, is that the Bible and what he's saying is lining up. Okay, God is saying here, He's a God nearby, He's a God far away. We can't hide in secret places. He sees everything. He fills heaven and earth. And I've read these verses, I'm sure, at least once before. But there's a reality of it that God has made very real and very personal to me just recently, and I think it's because of the way Tozer explains this idea of God filling heaven and earth. He kind of gives this illustration, and I love this so much, and I have to share it with you. He says this: God fills heaven and earth just as the ocean fills a bucket which has been submerged in it a mile down. The bucket is full of the ocean, but the ocean surrounds the bucket in all directions. So when God says He fills heaven and earth, He does. Now let me tell you what has happened to me since I read the Jeremiah passage and this illustration in the book. I've literally been walking around, driving around this week, and it's like I'm walking and driving through an ocean of God's presence. Now, I'm not seeing anything. There's no lights shining or cloudy, smoke happening around me. It's not like that. It's not a physical reality that's happening, but it's like an emotional, just a feeling. Like God has given me the feeling of the reality that His presence is around me. And it's been amazing. And I can only hope that what He's done for me, He can do for you as well. But regardless of that, as much as I love what He's done for me, as much as I hope that He never takes this reality away from me, what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling right now. This is the reality. There are times in my life where I have felt very close to God, and there's other times where I felt very far away. There are times where I felt like His presence is literally with me right now, and there are other times where I'm just wondering, where are you? Like, are you off, in India right now dealing with somebody else? Like, when are you going to come back? But whatever I'm feeling, I always have to match it up with Scripture. And the Bible, remember in Jeremiah, God says that He fills heaven and earth. That means that God is always with us. He's with me right now, here. He's with you watching this. He's with everyone that could be watching this. He's literally everywhere. And that's what it means for God to be omnipresent. He's all the time, everywhere. So here's my challenge for you guys this week. Let's live in light of the fact that God is with us. If you are going through something challenging right now and you feel like God is far away, know that He's not. He's right with you. You can tell Him what you're feeling. You can ask Him to help you, and He hears you, and He is near you. If maybe you're struggling in your relationship with your spouse or your relationship with your kids. Maybe you're dealing with something right now, some personal bad choices in your life God would be ashamed of. Know this, God is with you. He sees all of the choices that you make. That should make us choose things wisely, choose our words wisely, choose our actions wisely. But know this too, it's not that God is just standing there looking over your shoulder like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. I can't believe you're doing that. God being omnipresent means that He's with you and you can ask Him for help, and He wants to help you. We've looked at that over the last couple weeks. So if you are struggling with something, I would ask you to ask God for your help and know, because the Bible is true, that He is with you. Thanks, guys, for listening this week. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday.